got to tell you about this HRMAB Gala coming up. The Human Resources Organization doing big things to salute those in the profession. Nicholas Roberts here with me. He's the immediate past president of HRMAB. Good to have you on.
Thanks, Good morning.
First, let's talk about the history of the event. When was the awards, the gala, conceptualized?
So there was actually a gala in 2014 under the then president, Dr. Glenda Jilks. But the association also is celebrating its 30th year this year. We were created in 1995, and then we were incorporated in 1996, but officially we were created in 1995. And then there were some talks with the association before then. So all of that is culminating this year in terms of the 30th year. We're also recognizing past presidents. We have about 18 or so past presidents. 2 have unfortunately passed. So we possibly will have persons there representing those persons that are those presidents that have passed. But there's a rich history with HRMAB. We've worked with various prime ministers throughout the annals of history and times within Barbados. And it's just a time to celebrate HR practitioners and management practitioners and those persons that look to push people within organizations. So I think, like I said, all of that is culminating with our 30th anniversary this year.
So as you salute those persons who have, contributed greatly to the cause, is there a judging process? How do you go about making those selections and choosing those who need to be recognized in this way?
So nominations were open to the general public from the 1st of August right now to the end of August. We then extended it for additional weeks, so then it closed off, I think, the first week in September. And then immediately after that, then the nominations were sent to a judging panel. And the panel sat down over the period of September. It was supposed to run for about 3 to 4 weeks. That process was extended by additional weeks, so they officially closed off the first week of October because the judges officially sent over their votes over to an independent auditor yesterday to adjudicate those results. But it was open to the public. The public went in, they voted. It was also open to the general membership as well. And we had about 90 nominations or so across various categories. And those categories, like I said, were judged by a panel of 7 persons. I'm going to shout them out later. I have them here because I don't want to forget anyone.
Right.
And then, like I said, it went over to Lisa Padmore, who is the CEO of ICAB, the Institute of Barbados, in terms of the Accounting Association of Barbados. And she is now going to go over and make sure that the process was fair, transparent, and everything was done in terms of due process, and that everything is done in a fair way, so persons, when the winners are announced on November 2nd, that there is no doubt about how or if the person was the correct person that was chosen to be winner for that respective category. So yeah.
So you're being transparent. Can you mention nominees?
Yeah. So we can mention nominees. So in terms of some categories, and there are about 10 or so categories, so I'm not going to call out all. But if I look at, for instance, the HR Professionals of the Year, we have Cavell Joseph St. Amar, who is from HRMAB, which is the HR Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Tanya Nichols from Terra Caribbean. We also have Desiree Edwards, who is at Wyndham Grand Barbados. We have Dylan Downs from the PVH Group. Brittany Brathwaite, who's no stranger to Mornin Barbados, or Barbados. Who's from Ocean's Hotel Group. Tisha Peters, who's also our current president. She's from Ross University. Cara Boyce of Impact Coaching. We also have Kadisha Haynes from the Job Connect. Miss Julie Turney representing HR Heart Consulting, Maria Boyce representing CIBC, and then we have Rashida Paris Boeing, who is at Poplar Discounts. And then as well, closing off those persons for HR Professional of the Year, Stephanie Catlin Birmingham, who is with the Courtesy Garage under the Courtesy Group.
So what would you say are some of the features of these individuals in their professions that would lead them to be recognized in this way?
I always say HR professionals are the glue within the organization. We hold many licks for many different reasons, but HR professionals are a good HR professional, I should say, or a great HR professional is one that is behind the scenes advocating for people. And through advocating for people, you advocate for your business doing the best that it can do. I always say that we are not disillusioned that businesses are in the business of making money, especially if it's a for-profit business. And businesses can only make a profit if it is that they have good people and good workers within those organizations. And your HR practitioner or your HR representative should be there helping to develop those people as well as the leadership team to get the best out of those persons. And I think those persons that I would have called out their names, and there are just a few because there are many unsung heroes and many unsung HR practitioners across the length and breadth of Barbados and the wider Caribbean, because we have a Caribbean category as well. They are within those organizations pushing and advocating for those people in terms of how it is we can develop them, how we can train them, ensuring that labor relations are being done in a just and fair way. So they're recognized by their peers as well as persons within the management sphere, because we have CEOs that have nominated their HR professionals within their organizations. So I think those people exemplify what it is to be a HR practitioner and how it is that you're practicing HR in the 21st century in a free and fair and a way that, like I said, pushes people to the forefront.
All right, so paint that picture for what those individuals and everyone attending can expect on the night.
So even though it's an awards gala and you can look for glitz and glamour, it's being held at Sandals Royal on the 2nd of November. The major purpose of it, like I said, is to recognize people. So it is going to be, there's going to be a dinner portion of it. We're going to
So you're rolling out the red carpet?
We're rolling out the red carpet. We're going to actually have a blue carpet because the colors of the association are the national colors, yellow and blue. So we're going to have a blue carpet. So it's, like I said, going to recognize those persons. We also have a featured speaker in Dr. Allison from NTA. She's going to be
Dr. Allison
Leacock. She's going to be our featured speaker. We also have Raphael Saul, who's going to be our MC. Anyone who's familiar with Raphael knows that he's a very dynamic person, so he's going to be there to re-energize us. We're going to have some entertainment throughout the night to keep the night going. And then we're going to recognize past presidents. As I mentioned, we have about 18 to 20 past presidents. Like I said, 2 have passed over the years, unfortunately. And then those going to the 10 categories in terms of announcing the winners. I don't know the winners. Anyone that sits on the executive of the association does not know the winners. The only persons that know the winners are the judging panel, and now by extension the auditor, Lisa Padmore at ICAB. She knows the winners. But yeah, on the night we're going to find out who it is the persons that have won within their respective categories.
Well, it should be an interesting event. I mean, in terms of looking back at where the association has come from. And there you see some of the HR Rising Star nominees, as you mentioned, a name there. Well, I'm not saying it there, but you mentioned it in Brittany Brathwaite. She's been doing some great work and even sharing with us here last week.
Yes.
Last week.
I call it Brittany a HR body. Brittany is
HR body.
Yeah, HR body. Brittany is the epitome of what it is when it represents HR when it comes to labor relations. She knows labor relations tall, and when it comes to advocating for people, there's no better HR resource than Brittany. So yeah. And
you say HR body, and that term, I like the phrase because it speaks to the evolution of HR for today's world. What do you see in terms of the purpose and look? How should HR look in 2025 in terms of, you know, really meeting the needs of employees and the employer as well?
I would say HR doesn't have a look. As an example, when I joined the profession about 15 or so years ago, there were so many people that were shocked that a man was in HR. We had a general meeting last month, and we inducted about 3 young male practitioners, and it was heartwarming to me because, like I said, we were seeing more men coming to the profession, and that is not underscoring or undermining the role that women play within our organizations or within the profession, because it is a female-dominated profession. But it shows the way that HR is changing, because once upon a time, there were people that wouldn't even want to, and these are realities, would not want to hire a man into the HR role because they thought that a man could not be empathetic, they could not be compassionate. They do not understand the remit of HR, which at the heart is love and care. But aside from love and care, there's a strategic aspect of it. And men can be emotional, and men can feel empathetic, and men can sit at the seat of the table in terms of the beginning of the boardroom and have those conversations, advocating for people while still understanding the strategic direction of an organization. So saying that to say the face of HR has changed in terms of the type of people you're seeing coming into HR. Once upon a time, HR was seen as to be a very prissy and put together person that needed to be in the role, but no, is someone now that is willing to roll their sleeves up despite the industry that they're in, and be willing to do the work in terms of helping organizations push themselves forward through people to do better. And I think that is how we are saying the profession has changed over time.
Yeah, HR professionals, I know sometimes we as employees like to give you all a hard time, but you have a role to play in helping to improve the environment for workers across the board, making sure that we are taken care of. That's really your mandate.
Correct.
That's really your mandate to help employers and employees in the workplace. So as we salute HRMAB, are you encouraging, can those interested in the profession come to not only see the gala, but also get more information from HRMAB in the event that they want to be a part of the association and a part of the HR movement?
Yes. So membership usually is opened for persons that are HR practitioners or management practitioners, but the gala is open to the general public. So if you're interested, you can log on to our website, www.hrmab.org.bb, and you can go on there on our landing page. As soon as you log on, the information is going to be right in your face in terms of the countdown to the gala, as well as where you can go to purchase your tickets. You can purchase your tickets directly on our website. We have a platform that is secure on our website, so you don't have to worry in terms of your information leaking or your credit information. So it's there. And before we wrap up, I just want to, like I said, I didn't want to forget anyone. So in terms of the judges, I want to salute the judges and the judging panel, which was led by Professor Dwayne Devonish, Michael McAnuff-Jones, Nicola Harris, Alison Brown-Ellis, as well as Cardell Ferguson, Donia Pigot, and Faunsheen Griffith-Prescott. I want to say a special thank you to those persons for volunteering their time and their effort, as well as Miss Lisa Padmore, who is the CEO of ICAB, the Institute of Chartered Associations of Barbados, Accountants of Barbados. I want to say a thank you to her in terms of volunteering her time as well to assist us in this process and ensuring that it is done in a free, fair, and transparent manner to select these winners.
Immediate past president of HRMAB, Nicholas Roberts, making sure that no stone is left unturned and making sure no one is left out in terms of really supporting and saluting those HRMAB professionals, those HRMAB stars. And as the stars align for their gala, we are wishing you all the best, and really want to see the results and hear who are these nominees that actually were awarded at the gala.
So yeah, so we can come back afterwards when they've been announced, because like I said, I don't know who, and we can have a bit more discussion, because I know I highlighted Brittany, but like I said, this is no remiss to any person that was nominated or was not nominated. There are many HR practitioners across.
So you're coming back, bring the HR body. bring the HR body, and let's keep the conversations going, because there's so much happening that involves HR, especially with the free movement of labor across the region. We got to continue these conversations, and you know where we have them, right here on Mornin Barbados. There are a list of the nominees. You can see them there on your screen, HR Rising Star nominees. Some names you may know, some you may not be so familiar with, but you have the opportunity to attend. You just go to their website, get your ticket, and make your way there and enjoy what will be an amazing evening with some of the island's top HR professionals. Thank you, Nicholas, for sharing with us.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for passing through and filling in for, I love that term, the HR body, Brittany Braffett.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.